An unprecedented summit of North American mayors focused on an issue of importance to all of our cities right now, and that is trade between our three nations. This is an extraordinary gathering at an extraordinary moment. As you all know, the last couple months have been marked by escalating tariffs and threats to trade. This summit, we've shared how our economies, good jobs, and the cost of living in each of our communities all depend on the trade relationship across North America. And we conclude with one simple message. Let us end this trade war and restore the stable and mutually beneficial trade relationship that has provided all of us so much shared prosperity. The United States has no better trading partners than our closest allies, Canada and Mexico. As we see it, there's no reason to backslide on this agreement. We all come from different places. Each of us wants what is best for our own country and our own city. Trade benefits us all, and tariffs hurt us all. And these tariffs will make it more difficult, which is the last thing we need right now. The story is the same for all of us, and I'm so grateful to the mayors of Canada and Mexico who traveled so far so that we may speak with one voice. We stand together in recognizing the value of trade and the importance of strong economic ties between our three nations. That's why today, mayors from our three nations are releasing a joint statement in support of free and fair trade between Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. We are warning of the serious and lasting damage from tariffs and calling for an end to the trade conflict. And we're going to make our voice heard. And we hope that by speaking together, we can have a positive impact. With that, I'd like to hand things off to my Canadian colleague, Councillor Rebecca Bly of Vancouver, and President of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities.
Thank you very much, Mayor Gunther. So hello and bonjour. First, I'd like to thank the U.S. Conference of Mayors for organizing this important summit. I am honored to be among my fellow municipal colleagues who have traveled from across the continent to be part of this crucial conversation on free trade. Mayors and councillors from cities across North America have gathered in Washington to discuss the impact of this ongoing tariff war. One, I might add, that we have never asked for. For nearly 30 years, trade between our three countries has brought immense value and deepened the bonds between our nations. We have grown into close allies, partners, and neighbors. We show up for each other, lean on each other, and have created a solid foundation of prosperity for all. However, the strength and unity of our countries have suffered at the hands of this unjust tariff war. Our bond was once the envy of the world, and now not only have these tariffs caused significant tensions in our relationship, but it has already begun negatively impacting our respective nations, cities, and communities. Every single day since the beginning of this trade war, I hear Canadians' concerns. Will the cost of living increase? How will I be able to afford groceries? Will I lose my job? Will my business survive? And at the heart of our communities are the local businesses that drive their economies. As it stands, nearly 90% of North American businesses are small businesses that rely on this cross-border trade. When local businesses are struggling, local jobs are next on the chopping block. And right now, a large number of Canadians worry about losing their jobs, as businesses have already started to scale back on hiring. These tariffs put significant financial pressure on our local governments, especially on more rural, remote, and northern communities. This summit takes place at a crucial moment for us as Canadians as we prepare to vote for a new federal government. Canada's strength has always come from within, from our people, our natural resources, our industries, and our communities that make up our country. The ties we have forged are stronger than any tariff. We are friends, partners, allies, and neighbors. Municipalities are the engines of our nation's economic growth. Together, we stand united and ask for these escalating tariffs to end. Today, we speak with one voice on behalf of Canadians, Mexicans, and Americans who deserve the economic conditions to ensure long-term prosperity for all. We are stronger together.
Yes, Mayor from United States, Canada, and Mexico are speaking with one voice. During the summit, we express our fear, the fear of price of everything going up, cost of living making us life unaffordable, jobs lost. But despite that fear, there's a real sense of unity and hope to say that if we are together, and we know we are strong, we're resilient, we have deep friendship and culture and history together as a people in North America, and we share so much in common. And that spirit of unity gives us that hope as we share our stories of resilience, as we share our best practices on how we could get through this trade war by continually connecting with each other. That our voices will be heard because we are a level of government closest to the people. And when people speaks out, no one can ignore them. That's why we remain hopeful and will continue to connect with each other, continue with this friendship, and continue this journey because we know we will pull through all of this trade war stronger together.
Primero, en primer término, agradecer la invitación a este importante evento en un momento tan delicado en las relaciones comerciales de nuestros países. Segundo, agradecer en esta jornada de trabajo los comentarios tan respetuosos y tan gentiles que recibimos la delegación mexicana de parte de las alcaldesas, de los alcaldes. Muchas gracias. Hemos coincidido en que los alcaldes, las alcaldesas, somos las figuras, las autoridades más próximas a la ciudadanía. Nos corresponda o no a nosotros, es a nuestras autoridades, a nuestras alcaldías, a quienes se les reclama el crecimiento del empleo que se genera a nivel nacional. Por eso la sinergia entre las autoridades que aquí están representadas, más allá de una fotografía grupal, es la expresión de buenas voluntades y de nuestra historia de amistad. Así es que hemos apuntado como una eventual agenda las redes de ciudades hermanas y el trazo de una agenda específica de objetivos en torno a hermanamientos, que es una vía importante para reforzar desde lo local los acuerdos comerciales, de negocios, con voluntad o sin voluntad, pero de ambas partes a nivel nacional, pero sobre todo en lo local, a partir también de intercambios culturales. Ante las invitaciones que han realizado nuestros pares en Cuautitlán Izcalli, estoy seguro que en toda la representación de México nos encontramos listos para continuar abonando desde lo local a nuestras relaciones. Muchas gracias. En el caso de Cuautitlán Izcalli, como se sabe, somos un municipio muy joven, tenemos 51 años de edad y la historia de nuestro propio municipio no se entendería sin la presencia de Ford Company. De la misma forma, la historia de Ford no se entendería sin la población de Cuautitlán Izcalli. Es la planta más productiva que tiene Ford, ahí se fabrica el Mustang eléctrico. Y la principal preocupación radica justo en la pérdida de empleos, en la pérdida de la inversión. Y sin embargo, nosotros estamos listos para, desde lo local, generar condiciones para que ni la inversión ni los empleos se pierdan.
Bien, écoutez, aujourd'hui, le monde municipal s'est réuni comme jamais, autant les villes des États-Unis, les villes du Mexique, mais aussi les villes du Canada. On s'est rassemblés pour dire haut et fort que nous, de notre côté, on ne croit pas que les tarifs soient la solution. On croit plutôt, comme on a vécu dans le passé, que la solution va passer vraiment par de la complicité, travailler en équipe, travailler ensemble, l'ensemble des communautés. Et aujourd'hui, les gouvernements de proximité, c'est un peu le message qu'on voulait passer tous et chacun, donc de se réunir ensemble, mais surtout d'être en mode solution. Mais les tarifs c'est pas la bonne solution. On demande aux gens de travailler ensemble pour trouver des meilleures solutions.
I would say that this organization, obviously coming together, all of us have pretty much put our stance out there that we're very concerned in the effect of that. And next week is D-Day for a lot of us. But the effect is, I mean, in my community alone, state of South Carolina, this could be a $3 billion effect to our trade. We have the second deepest port on the East Coast. We have over 500 companies dealing in automotive alone, textile, aeronautics, et cetera. So when we start looking at that, and then we talk about the rebuilding, we just had Western North Carolina and fires. Currently, there are fires in my home state right now above Greenville. All of that is affecting when we start talking about building supplies, steel. Right now, Sunoco Products, based in South Carolina, is already feeling aluminum prices going up. They're in the packaging industry. You know, we've already seen that over the period of time. So yes, we as an organization, the U.S. Conference of Mayors, have stepped out. Now, what we really need is the administration to sit down with the two countries and say, all right, it's time for fair trade all the way across, balanced. We are neighbors, we are friends, we are colleagues. We cannot live without each other. And those products are going to affect all the small businesses. Just was in Kentucky yesterday, meeting with distilleries who are having the same issue as we were discussing. All the the Kentucky products that are now not being imported and sold, that's causing layoffs already. You just saw major distilleries in the U.S. laying off personnel because the effect is already there. So think about how this will be across the globe if we continue. Look, we all want fair and balanced trade, and we want equal. But the reality is here that we've got to get to the table. We can't do it with threats. You do it with conversation.
Yeah, I'll reiterate that. The uncertainty is already causing damage. Businesses can't forecast. They can't forecast payroll, supply needs, et cetera. And just the picture in San Antonio and in Texas, 1 in 5 jobs in the San Antonio and in the Texas economy depends on international trade. We are the basis of what is a growing automotive manufacturing community as well as aerospace. And I'll tell you that it supports well north of 10,000 jobs just in our community. Those are San Antonio families whose jobs are on the line because the businesses cannot function properly with all of this uncertainty. I'll also share with you that our message is not just to the administration, it's also to our congressional leaders. The authorities in which the president has unleashed what I view as an unprovoked trade war are questionable at best, and we're asking for our congressional leaders to stand up and stand with American families whose livelihoods are on the line.
I wanted to throw in, and it's a good question, right? What do you have to look at? You have to look at the problem that's in front of you. You have just heard from American mayors, 2 that lean on the Republican side, 2 that lean on the Democratic side. This is not a partisan issue. I said in the summit, and I'll say it here, I'm from Lansing, Michigan. We are an automotive town. We have 2 assembly plants for GM. We make on average $48,000 a year. If cars go up anywhere close to 10,000, you're going to have people that cannot afford to buy cars. So now you have a transportation problem. The U.S. Conference of Mayors has been focusing on housing. We are building housing in Lansing like crazy. Well, if the price goes up, we're building right at, when you talk about a finance gap, we are filling finance gap with future tax dollars, and our state is helping. If the price of steel goes up, if the price of wood goes up, that's going to make housing build unaffordable. These are all the issues that are right in front of us. I can't predict what's going to happen in 6 months, what's going to happen in a year. This one's right in front of us. And when you have Republicans and Democrats, when you have Canada, when you have the U.S. and you have Mexico all standing together, I think that's extremely powerful. I'm going to go home, I'm going to call my senators and my representative, and I'm going to tell them I was just part of this. I was one of 6 U.S. mayors, and I was part of this. And I think people are paying attention. This is something that hasn't happened before that I know about. Tom might be able to say differently, but it's just not something that's happened before. And to see a Mayor Brian Barnett of Michigan, leaning Republican, of Mayor Andy Shore of Michigan, leaning Democrat, all of us coming together, along with our new friends, I just think that this is something that that people are going to stand up and take notice of. Thank you.
Councilor Clark?
I'll just add to the other comments that we represent communities that are relying on us to do something. And so what you see here is representative of what feels like an existential crisis to many people that live in our communities. This is about feeding their children. This is about being able to make their mortgage payments, being able to keep their jobs. So while the question is certainly fair, and I think we're all wondering what could possibly happen after this, anything is possible. We recognize right now we are in an uncertain future, probably, right, for the next 3 to 4 years, while we weather any storm that comes our way. To have this united group use the strength of 3 countries representing municipalities cannot be understated. And these meetings started a month and a half ago with our first delegation from FCM coming to meet with all the different associations here in the United States just as a starting point. And look what we have here now within a month. So I think it's important for us to stay united and also hopeful because our communities are depending on us to do so.
Everything really has been said, but the bottom line is we understand that trading is important, but what we came out knowing that it's the people-to-people relations and the ability to meet our people where they are. So we will stay united. We know that we are stronger together, and we hope that our voices today will resonate to the administration as well as to our congressional leaders. The time is now, and also just thinking that we are coming out of COVID-19 still. So now is not the time to add extra burdens on our people, on our countries collectively. So we stand united, and we're going to continue to stay connected because our people really depend upon us to do so. So thank you so much.